Alright, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be showing you the best settings for Rivals in 2025. Now although I'm only level 60, these settings have helped me 5-0 level 200s and get a 100% win rate inside of Ranked. If you guys find this video informative or useful, please do like and subscribe. Let's get right into it. Alright, so here we are inside of Rivals and I'm going to be showing you the best settings for 2025. So we're going to start off with the Rivals settings. So as you can see in the general part of the settings, I have disabled shadows on. As you can see, it's self-explanatory, it reduces lag and also it just makes things less distracting. Same goes for disabled textures. As for disable wraps in duels, it really doesn't matter. It's not something that's very noticeable, but I have this off. Volume depends on how loud your game is. I just have it on these settings, so if you want to copy them, feel free, but it doesn't really matter. Now, as for toggle aim, toggle crouch, and toggle sprint, I have these all off, along with auto sprint. So those are all off. Easy slide is on, and scroll equip should be off. I don't know why that turned itself on, to be honest. Yeah, scroll equip is off. As for auto shoot, if you're a mobile player, you just want this as quick as you can. And auto jump, I'd recommend you have this off. It just gives you more control over your gameplay. Now this is just personal preference from mobile players and yeah. Now as for sensitivity, I have this on 1 because I actually customize it manually in the Roblox settings, in which I'll get into that later. Same for ADS sensitivity multiplier. For camera zoom effects, I have this on 0.25. That's because when it's at 1, it zooms in way too much, so 0.25 in my opinion is just perfect. As for field of view, I currently have this at 105. However, I've been changing this between 90 and 105, so just experiment with what's best for you. FOV effects should be off, camera shake should be off, and these two really should be off. The reason I have camera shake off is just because it gets really distracting and it's really confusing when you're playing the game. I'd recommend you have this on if you're a mobile player, and obviously hide HUD should always be off. Signal should be on if you play with your teammates, and weapon inking really doesn't matter. I have this on, but it doesn't really affect how I play the game. Hide tasks in duels I have off just so I can keep track of my tasks, but if you think they're distraction, turn them on. Hide teammate icons depends on whether you want to see your teammates' health. If you do, and if you want information about your teammates without them having to communicate it to you, turn this off, else you can turn it on. Accessible flashes you should definitely have on. The weapon picker is up to you, and damage numbers should be on. I'd recommend you have aiming hides muzzle flashes on. I don't know why this again turned itself off. And weapon background, you can just have it on the default or whatever you want. Next, we're going to go to the crosshair. I actually don't usually have my crosshair on. If you want to have it on, I'd recommend just having it as a small dot with a little outline. So as you can see, I have dot enabled and outline enabled. Set for that, I don't actually really care that much about my crosshair because I have my crosshair off usually. As for keybinds, you should always try to use keybinds that are easily accessible. For example, my melee is my middle mouse button, and that's just because I can easily access it on my mouse rather than having to go to my keyboard. And as my utility, it's another button on my mouse, which again allows me to use my utility really easily. Except for that, most of these are just the default settings. So yeah, I haven't really changed my keybinds much. Next, we're going to move on to the Roblox settings. So as you can see, you want your maximum frame rate to be the highest it can possibly be, which in this case is 240. That's just so you can get the highest frame rate possible on your computer, which will allow for better aiming and stuff like that. You can react better. Next, camera sensitivity, I have this on 0.07. The low sensitivity allows for good tracking for me. And then for graphics quality, I have this on 2, so there's less distractions and I get a higher frame rate. Now we're going to look at some external settings. So if we actually search up mouse and go to this one here, as you can see, you should always have enhanced pointer precision off. Having this on actually gives it a weird acceleration, which is just really bad for gaming. Next, you're going to want to open your mouse software. I have a SteelSeries mouse, so in this case, I'm going to use SteelSeries GG. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to your mouse's settings, and you're going to want to adjust the sensitivity, in which I have my sensitivity on 800 dpi. It's a really good sensitivity, and it just allows me to track a lot easier. So yeah, that's all for today's video. If you found these settings informative or useful, please do like and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Have an amazing day, guys, and goodbye.